Hello everybody out on YouTube and Agent of Doubt. Thanks for tagging me, I think. With the five series of books that you like the best. And that's a pretty hard one. That's actually a really difficult kind of question to answer when it comes right down to it. You got to think about all the disparate tastes and everybody's different, likes and dislikes and stuff like that. You got to take into account, and some people just read just to fart away the day, just to just to kill time. My grandmother, wow, my little Japanese grandma, she got her hooks into romance novels. Oops, and that was that. She had like an entire wall, like floor to ceiling, like what was it? Probably actually in the trailer was like a 7 foot ceiling, floor to ceiling, and an entire wall about 10 feet long. So, a space like that, floor to ceiling, wall to wall, with romance novels. And my grandfather eventually sold them all on eBay because they were moving. And yeah, you got a pretty penny for a lot of those. My grandmother had some very, very old, complete sets of novels. And I'm surprised she didn't decide to like marry a Russian because, they're readers. And yeah, I don't know, which is kind of weird. So, anyways. Here we go. I'm going to do a little two-parter. It's going to be 5 books from series, or 5 series of books, and 5 individual books. And here we go. Alright, so we'll start off with The Inside of a Dog. Got this book recently, and I kind of like it. It actually is very, very astute. The author, Alexander Horowitz, is very astute in what do you call it, just observing her animal and observing what the animal does and how the animal interacts with the world and stuff. It's actually very cool, very cool, and kind of interesting, because of this book I make sure that my dog smells as much stuff as he can, because that's one of the main ways that they interact with the world around them is through their noses. And number 2, Dirk Gently's Holistic Detective Agency by Douglas Adams. We all know and love Douglas Adams for his Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy series, but he also did, I believe, either 2 or 3 books in the Dirk Gently's series. And if you just want a screwball detective who really shouldn't be a detective, who throws a little bit of supernatural around, then this will be your book. It's very dry British humor in some spots, and yeah, just kind of an out there book. A little more out there than Hitchhiker's Guide, but a very fun book in any case. I liked it. Neuromancer by William Gibson. It's number 3. These are in no particular like order. Actually, the next 2 are probably going to be more like than the first 3. But Neuromancer by William Gibson, as you all know, William Gibson is a very, very prolific, I guess. Well, I don't know, more prolific than me, I guess. Writer of kind of like technology-based science fiction. And this was one of his first ones. This is talking about Case the cowboy, Case the computer cowboy, and a little bit about the singularity and how technology is, becoming more and more integrated into us. And I mean, this book talks about eye implants and body implants with technology and just all kinds of crazy things. William Gibson is also the guy that did the short story Johnny Mnemonic that Keanu Reeves starred in back in the day. But yeah, another good book. Kind of sort of makes you wonder where we're going. Singularity, it's right there. Alright, so the next one, it's really the only place I was able to find the story, and I have all of Heinlein's books, everything that he's published, I believe. And The Green Hills of Earth is the only anthology where I found the story, which is called The Long Watch. It's number 3 there. The Long Watch is an amazing story. It's about the guy who disobeys orders to do the right, proper, correct thing under a death sentence. It's a very powerful story, and it moved me quite a bit. And I have to say, probably one of my more favorite Heinlein stories. Because, sometimes the sacrifice you make is the it's the true and correct sacrifice to make. Whether or not you like it, whether or not it's good, bad, or indifferent, it's the right thing to do. And that was that story, and I liked it a lot. Oh, and again, we have one more Heinlein book right here. This is Friday, and this is about a super spy who's a girl, and she's also she's not a clone, but she's been genetically manipulated to be the best human possible, and her type of people are persecuted because of that. They're always saying, you know, bad things, crushy babies, and all kinds of other, like, just bad things. So they talk about that. But Heinlein actually predicted the internet in this book. Alright, because he talks about Friday being connected to all the major libraries of the world through a screen, and that sounds like the internet. Now, it was published back in 1982, and I'm pretty sure DARPANET or ARPANET were around back then. And he was probably aware of them. But, once again, speculative fiction, right, takes what we have now and just amps it up. And I think that's what he did here. There's a lot of political unrest in this book. The United States and Canada have fractured, all kinds of stuff. And, yeah, I liked it a lot. You really feel for the woman here, for Friday, and you really feel for her plight, and you go, man, that's just really fucked up, and there's nothing wrong with her, and yeah, it's just pretty crazy. But a good book, a very good book. Alright, so now we go on to the series. Alright, so series number 1, the Dream Park series by Larry Niven and Stephen Barnes. And basically, if you're a role-playing geek, you'll love these books. Basically, Dream Park is like Disneyland, but for gamers. And they use 3D technology and all kinds of stuff. He's actually changed the technology through the books. Like here in this first one, it was all live-action actors and things like that. Playing an actual, like, role-playing game, you know. Talked a lot about all kinds of different mythologies and things like that in this one. And then here, in the Barsoom Project, it's another game. Right? All of these are like murder mysteries surrounded by a really huge, like, physical role-playing game that a bunch of physical people are interacting with, you know, holograms or puppets, Muppets, or not Muppets, but, you know, something that makes them think that it's real. And there are game masters involved and a whole, like, team of them and a few other things going on. And so each one of these is a murder mystery wrapped around, you know, that's wrapped around this game environment, which is really fleshed out and kind of interesting to read, actually. It's very cool. Coming up on the 8-minute mark. Alright, second one. Mutineer's Moon, Armageddon Inheritance, and Heirs of the Empire, David Weber. He also does the Honor Harrington books. But these ones that are talking about our moon being a ship from another society, from another culture altogether. It's very crazy. But very interesting in the way they talk about how things are done within that society, and how they use life extension and a few other things to get things going. Alright, so another set of 4 right here. This is by Jack McKinney, which is a composite of Brian Daley and James Luceno. And they wrote quite a few books, actually. They did about, I don't know, 30 books between the two of them before I think Brian Daley died, which was a loss to the fan community because he did a lot of Star Wars books as well back in the day. But yes, this series of 4 books right here, this is basically envisioning the Earth as one gigantic theme park. And aliens have been visiting this theme park for quite a few years, and they have basically sunken their hooks into every aspect of human culture. And they are now trying to come in and just take everybody, take everything, and just, you know, capitalize on the fact that we will pay for just really stupid entertainment. It's a very good series, and it's pretty old too. Been around for a while. Alright, so series number 4 will have to be in the next video.